What is up, guys? So today is when I'm recording this, it's Tuesday, and this video is for yesterday, Monday. And this is just when I was recording pre-market for Monday, my microphone wasn't plugged in, or it was like plugged in, but it was like barely. Oh, there you are. I'm retarded. It was like barely poking out, so it didn't you couldn't hear me. So when I would go to jeez, I'm chopped. Holy, holy, yeah. When I would go to talk, it wouldn't, you couldn't hear me. So I had to basically scrap that, and I'm kind of just gonna, show you guys my pre-market trading journal now, and then just head over to, jeez, I'm getting choked out. There, I can't see my chopped head. Um, we're just gonna go to, um, look at my, gosh, dude, we're gonna look at my pre-market journal, and then after that, we'll go to post-market, which actually did have my microphone, I think. If not, that's gonna be really annoying. Oh, this is also done, by the way. Don't know why I didn't put that. But essentially, bias was bullish. I didn't put this on here, but we have this gap right here. That got inversed after the. I'm assuming this is a sweep of lows. I'm actually gonna go check. Okay, maybe not. This got inversed right here. I'm assuming this is most likely a sweep of liquidity. So we get a sweep of liquidity, and we inverse this gap. So we're bullish on the daily for me. Um, and then on the 4-hour, we have liquidity in these areas. I just kind of drew them out. We're bullish at the time of pre-market. And then I drew out this gap because as a confluence, it could retrace towards new week open gap to be filled. And then I think I had the 1-hour. Yeah. And then I said put hoping for a sweep of these highs or a move down to these lows to continue higher. Maybe too large of a move, which you'll see in post market that it wasn't. But yeah, did exactly. Oh yeah, and then this is yeah, and then I was kind of stupid. Sometimes when I paste things, it just puts the exact same picture as before, so I don't have the 30-minute. But that's essentially. I can go to. We can go to the 30-minute real quick. But my entry criteria was liquidity sweep breaker structure, and then or either that or fair value gap breaker structure. So yeah, that was essentially the pre-market. If we go to, if it'll let me, thank you. This was a trade. This was a trade from today. Just disregard that. That video will be out in like by the end of today. Where was this? Hold on. Let me lock in. Right here. Um, we see a sweep of those highs and then this gap. Well, it got filled. I'm basically showing fucking post market. Just don't look at anything past here, or I guess here. But yeah, we were bullish as well on the 30-minute. Because we had broken structure. Actually, no. Yeah, yeah. We broke structure right here, or I guess right here. So we broke structure, swept liquidity around 8, right before, like 30 minutes before, and yeah, that was basically it for um pre-market on 30-minute. I mean, I probably would have said bullish. We also had a inversion of this gap, and we can see that price did move upwards, so it was a validated gap. Again, this is before market. But yeah, that's basically it for the 30-minute. But yeah. Sorry about that. It's kind of annoying. But yeah. On to post-market analysis, where you get to see what actually happened. So yeah, see you there. Alright, what is going on, guys? So, post-market analysis. Also, I think my pre-market analysis was kind of stupid. I don't remember how it ended because I started it during the stream and then I kind of just forgot. So we'll have to figure. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Um, but yeah, I think I got most of it. I got most of it explained. So I just got out of the shower. I just ended the stream before the shower. So basically, I took a loss today. Essentially, it was just because I was being impatient. Here, let's go ahead and look at the trade recap. So today, we're down in drawdown 517. I risked 1%. It was New York session. You guys probably can barely hear me. Let me use this cup. This looking might work. I mean, kind of. Still probably can't hear me, but that should be better. Yeah, whatever. So, we took a loss. It was in the funded account. Today was the first day that funded. So on the daily we were bullish. And well, I didn't what do you call it? I didn't mark this out, but this is something to note that there's a gap right here. There's an imbalance right here, and it did get inversed on the daily. So we are like super bullish right now. So go to the next one, bro. I don't know why it's doing that. Did I put the daily twice, bro? Bro, what is this? Oh my gosh. Are you fucking serious? What the fuck? I just completely fucked up my trade recap. Oh my gosh. Why does it do that shit, bro? That's so fucking stupid. It does that shit every fucking time. I literally click copy image and then paste it over there and it just fucking hell. And it just fucking pastes the last one instead. Like what the fuck? Why, bro? Oh my gosh, dude, are you fucking serious? So fucking stupid. Hold on. Let's just fucking go over here then. That's so stupid, bro. I fucking hate that. Okay, well, fuck that bullshit. Stupid ass shit. Fuck off with the bullish. So basically, daily, do my hands. Oh yeah, I did mark it afterwards. We did inverse that gap. On the 4 hour, we were bullish. On the 1 hour, we were bullish. And here, I did mark out this thing first. As you can tell, it hit. Just note that's a confluence that I marked out, and it did hit. Here we have, and on the 1 hour we were bullish as well till market open. Essentially, I marked out. Well, I guess not in here. Also on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, we have liquidity right here. Honestly, I should have been able to change my bias to bearish, knowing we just swept a high time frame liquidity, and the fact that we are now well, we're not right now, but we turned bearish on the 1 hour, and we just swept high time frame liquidity. So I should have been like, okay, well, yeah, we're bullish, but obviously we're about to go retrace downwards. So I need to be looking for shorts. Maybe. I don't know. That's just something to keep in mind. Is we did have a 4 hour liquidity sweep, and then we broke structure to the downside on the 1 hour. You can see we retraced upwards. Now we're going downwards, all the way to this new week gap. Actually got completely inversed. It's not on the daily though, but it's on the 4 hour. Well, it's not inversed yet, so I can't say that. It is on the 1 hour though. The 1 hour one is. Anyways, 30-minute. We have I marked out London lows and Asian lows. And as market open was really happening, this was getting swept. And I also noticed on ES, it had swept long before this one did, and it was like up here. I wish I could have these like saved on like a watch list. Unfortunately, I can't. If you look here, look, it was much like here's market open. So like it already swept, came back down, and came back up far before that. So I already knew it was gonna happen. So I was just waiting for it to happen. And I think at one point there was S&T. So twice actually. During the trading like session. Oh, dude, there's like a spot on my back where I need to pop. But if I like move my arm and stuff, it like I can feel it and it hurts. That's really annoying. Also, just to mention, well, even still, on the 30-minute, we did break structure as well, and we inversed this gap. So being able to not have, if you don't know what confirmation bias is, basically it's kind of like looking for the things that you already think are true. So like, you could think that it's bullish, but the market's actually turning bearish, but you're still going to be looking for bullish stuff. Even though if you don't have confirmation bias and you're looking to see bullish things, yeah, your bias is bullish, but you can still look for and see what happens. Like, oh, maybe the market can turn bearish. Maybe I should have the ability to change my bias. Then you could realize, okay, we're getting breaks of structure on high time frames and inverses on the medium time frames. So most likely we're going to be continuing lower towards this gap. And if you want to go check out the stream, by the way, from today, it's on Kick. You can go check out like the stream's posted. It's still up there, so you can go check out how it went. And you can go see how most of my confluences did get hit, and most of the stuff I was saying was going to happen did happen. Like these lows got swept, this got tapped into, and I said after I took the trade and stuff, I was like, most likely we're going to come back down to these lows, this gap. Even before, I was like, I had this marked out first, because I was like, there's a high chance this gets filled. What? Market is open. Bro. It just said the market is open. Like 3 times. Well, yeah, no shit, it's open. What is that supposed to mean? What the... I don't know. You guys can't hear it. I can turn it on for you guys, see, in case it says it again. Don't know what the hell that was. But yeah. Anyways, 15-minute. Also keep in mind this gap right here on the 15-minute. Just keep that in mind. So let's go down to the 5-minute. We could see that 4 hour got swept. Price came down. And took out these lows and tapped into this 30-minute session low. So we went upwards. And at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the 15. You see this gap? I said I was gonna wait for the 15 and the 5 to see what price does to react off of it. I said if it doesn't get inversed, or if it gets, I'm gonna wait to see if it gets inversed or filled, and go off of whatever happens after that. But I got impatient, which we can go over my stuff in my trade recap in a second. And I kind of was like, I didn't feel like I was being impatient, but I was subconsciously being impatient. I wasn't like actively thinking, oh, I gotta get in a trade now. I gotta get in a trade now. I'm gonna miss it. Which, okay, maybe I kind of was, but not really. I was a little, but I was also like on the 1 minute. I had this order block, and I was waiting for it to get tapped back into right here, and it did. We had a breaker structure, which I was waiting for, but price just kept going up. There was really no opportunity. I did not take that trade, by the way. I had no opportunity, or there's no, like, spots for entry. So when a spot for entry did finally open, right here, I was still thinking about getting into a trade because I was trying to get a trade off of this breaker structure and order block up here. Because after I had said this about this, I was like, well, what if I missed the thing, like in my mind. So I was kind of was being impatient and not wanting to wait. Because around here it was still 9 o'clock, bro. Bro, I'm tweaking. Oh, I need to start stretching, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my, dude. Oh, jeez. But we saw this gap. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna wait for a price to tap into it first, and then I had this like this, and I had it at like the halfway point right here, and then I had my 2-to-1, and it was like right here or something. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna wait for price to come into here first, and then I was gonna place it. Well, you can't create a limit order and then place the order, and then price moves up to it, and then clicks your or places your order. It's literally just a market. It's just a market order, and then you have to set the TP and the stop loss afterwards, after you're already in the in the in the trade, which is very kind of annoying and interesting. It's very different from anything else, to be honest. I don't know why the hell that's a thing, to be fucking honest, but whatever. But instead, I like literally just placed the trade as it got down to that. And I was like, why did I do that? But I'm already in the trade. I'm not going to leave the trade. That's like dumb. So, I mean, it was too late at that point. I kind of was already in. It was kind of my trade anyways. And if it was the trade that I think it was going to be, it wouldn't even hit my stop loss anyways. So, I mean, if I had waited, then I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have taken that trade. But also, if it had gone in there and then I placed a trade, well, it doesn't even let me do that. I still would have gotten like stopped out. But basically, instead of like remembering what I was saying about the 15 and the 5, like if I had just been more patient, and because I literally, I mean, obviously it got filled. This got filled, didn't get inversed. It got filled and then went back down, and I got stopped out. But I didn't think about that because I was too focused on trying to get in a trade from what I was trying to do before down here, and I forgot about what I was saying about this. So I was being impatient trying to get into a trade. And even then, honestly, there's really no spots for trades anyways. Like with the optimal stop loss. Even down here, price comes back in here. Yeah, you get a breaker structure. You can get a breaker structure right here, but you have to wait for the candle to close. So that means you'd be taking the trade right here. Oh, where are you gonna put it? You could put it at that's insane. That's a retarded thing. Like, never do that. put it at the 50% level, that's still not that good of a stop loss. And if you were going to do a 1 to 20 or a 1 to 2, you'd still, I think you'd get stopped out. Jeez. You would have just barely made it. Which is, like, that's the thing with, like, breaker structure with me and understanding how breaker structure works is, like, it doesn't always work for me. Oftentimes, it kind of, like, just screws up my trading in general. And it doesn't really help me. It does quite the opposite, and it makes it to where I miss out on multiple trades. The only time breaker structure is good is on high time frame confluences getting hit. Not really like on things like a 30-minute session lows get hit. Okay, well, breaker structure is not necessarily, because on a high time frame thing, like high time frame confluence is getting hit, there's gonna be a big move because it's a high time frame. So obviously that getting swept is gonna cause a big move, which means, like, basically, just let's look at this. So this was a 4-hour sweep. We get a breaker structure immediately. Even if we wanted an extra confirmation, order block right here, taps into it. All right, boom, easily just short that bitch. Put it at here. A lot of the times I like to add a couple pips just for safety. Spreads and sometimes price will come just barely. I don't know if there's raw spreads on here or not, but you can literally just do that. Boom, 1 to 2, you're golden. Like, literally, you can just do that. And even if you wanted to hit partials, I was saying this in stream, partial right there, and partial right here. Boom. All three get hit. It was like a 1 to 2.4, or 1 to 2.3, a 1 to 4.6, and then a 1 to 7, I think, something like that. But yeah, essentially, I just got impatient. The things I did say were going to get hit did get hit, but I also need to know when not to take a trade, because there really wasn't any great setups today that I should have taken a trade off of. A lot of them had not good enough stop losses for what I wanted to do, so I gotta be, like, aware of the fact that I don't always have to taking no trade is better than taking an impatient trade because of things like that. So I got to be able to know that I don't always have to take a trade, and I always can. There will always be setups in the future, and this one setup that I'm looking at is not the only setup of the day or even of trading ever. So just knowing that, hey, this is not the last setup, and you got to be more patient and let price develop so you can have a better knowledge of what's even going to happen that day is something that I need to do. Because I mean, boom, London lows got swept after that 4 hour. Which, I don't know honestly why I was looking for longs. I mean, we were bullish, yes, but I mean, like, 4 hour time frame liquidity just got swept. So getting longs out of the market after that is going to be quite difficult, to be honest. Like, there's no way we're going to sweep 4 hour liquidity and then go ahead and sweep London lows and continue higher. That isn't really, like, if we're going to sweep 4 hour liquidity, then there's probably going to be something else lower that we're going to have to grab to be able to go past that, which is going to be this weekly gap, which I should have noticed. But, like, also, right now, it's just chopping, to be honest. There's no, like, crazy movement. Even up here, little choppy. So even if I did wait for it to get filled, honestly, wouldn't have really been a good idea to even trade anyways. And it's way too late, like, past when I would want to trade anyway. So yeah, should have just known not to trade. Um, and if I was able to change my bias to bearish, I mean, I could have found a trade. Literally could have been like, all right, well, this literally just, like, barely gets tapped into. Literally, like, it doesn't even get tapped into, but still. It, like, goes right up to it and then goes right back down. And just completely, we fill in the 15-minute, but then we just go straight back down. So, I mean, yeah, kind of just gotta know to be more patient and be aware of the fact that I don't always have to take trades. So also, um, another thing is this was my review after my trade, since I didn't put the fucking screenshots in there correctly. Um, well, we can look at my trade one. Got impatient and didn't wait for the 15 and 5 minute gap to either inverse or get filled. Instead, saw order block and break a structure on 1 minute and entered off fair value gap retrace. Had a sweep of London lows in Asia and tap into Asian lows. We can see if I was patient enough, I would have been able to enter properly and had a better trade, which is not necessarily true because there really wasn't any better like opportunities for a good stop loss for what I would want. So that's not really true. How well did I execute my trading plan? I executed my trading plan exactly how I was supposed to. And you may be thinking, well, you still lost. Okay, yeah, that happens. Not just because of my trading plan, but because of my psychology and things. I took 1% risk. I took one trade. I waited till after 8:50. There was no red news. I traded futures as I was supposed to. And I used breaker structure, fair value gap, and technically order block, but I didn't get a trade off that. But it was a breaker structure and fair value gap. Because I waited for that breaker structure, like I was saying on the order block. I waited for that breaker structure right up here, but I missed. I wasn't able to get a trade off of the after the breaker structure, so I waited for that fair value gap right here. Took a trade right here, got stopped out. So honestly, technically was breaker structure and fair value gap. Now there was order block, and there was liquidity sweep. Actually, yeah, I think I used almost all of them because there was London lows that got swept, so that's liquidity. I waited for breaker structure. There was also the order block that I attempted to use. Um, and there was that fair value gap that I entered off of. Now, the only thing about an inverse was waiting for this one to get hit. Well, not really get hit, but see if it's either going to get inversed or filled. So, sort of, but not necessarily. Um, these are just kind of like cheat sheets to help me with calculating my contracts based off of my 1% risk on how many points of stop loss I have for both micro NQ and micro ES. And then we have macro times. Anyways, but yeah, everything I did on my trading plan, I did correctly. But what I did not do, um, or here, what things that did I do correctly? I was able to properly assess what price action was going to draw towards and find the correct confluences. Oh, dude, I need water, bro. Holy. I was too impatient and got a stupid entry and ended up getting stopped out. If I had been impatient, I would have been able to get a proper trade because right now price is currently whipped past my original TP. What emotions did you feel? No emotions really felt except that impatience that wasn't really actively felt but definitely showed in my trading. Make sure to be more patient and realize that there's always more setups in the future. And be able and understand that trade that you that you don't always need to take trades. Yeah, want to put that in there. But yeah, that's essentially the jeez. That's essentially the trade recap for today. That's the post-market analysis. My pre-market kind of just the same thing. And of course, I did that same bullshit with the 1 hour, whatever. Today's entry criteria: liquidity sweep, breaker structure, or fair value gap breaker structure. And I spent that fair value gap breaker structure because of the weekly gap. But honestly, it was too far gone for me to be able to even trade at that point because it was too late in the day. But yeah, that's essentially it for today's video. I took a loss. I have work. I have work, and literally after this video, I'm not even gonna be able to edit it or post it. I'm gonna have to go get ready, then leave to go get some food, and then just head to work because I didn't have time to really make food, but I need calories, you know. I gotta be able to stay in a caloric surplus at the very least. Since I'm not taking a break from the gym, but I'm kind of slowing down on it just for like the next couple of months, so I can kind of fully lock in on trading because that's what's my main objective right now. I'd prefer to focus on that my 100% than be putting some of my effort into the gym and then some of my effort into trading and then doing half-ass both. I'm just gonna focus all in on trading and just get to where I want to be with that. And then I'm still gonna go if I ever have time during a day where I've already done everything I need to do, I'll go to the gym and then I'll be able to still have all my stuff cause I would have back test done my videos, gotten my calories in, then I can go to the gym, come back, continue back testing. I mean, it's just about I don't know what that means. It's just about being able to I don't know. But I'm just basically saying that I want to focus more on trading, and I'm going to get a lot more practice done, and a lot more uh, focus on trading is going to be put into it. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. I will be streaming tomorrow at Market Open. Link is in the description for if I remember to put it. Hopefully I do. It's going to be in the description for my stream. If not, then just look up Stetson HQ on Kick, and I'll be streaming again. Second trade of the funded, and tonight, and for the rest of the day, I'm gonna be kind of just analyzing what happened and what I need to do better. And I'm gonna be, just trying to get better. I'm probably gonna do some more back testing tonight when I get home from work. I get off at 6 around, so I'll probably be home around 7. I'll probably make some food, then just get to back testing. And what I need to start doing is waking up at 4. I did wake up at 4 today. I kind of stayed in bed for 25 minutes. But the reason I did that is because I'd rather stay in bed for 25 minutes and, you know, just sit there and then eventually be able to get out of bed instead of me just going back to bed and then never, waking up until, market open. Because that's typically what happens is I just set my alarm off and go back to bed. But I'd much rather do that and have the ability to stay awake. So, and it did work. So I'm slowly getting back into the waking up early. I kind of not really paused, but did it less because discount tire kicks my ass, dude. That work is hard. So sometimes it is hard to wake up, but I just need to be going to bed correctly, doing the correct things before bed to kind of get myself ready to be able to wake up in the morning. And then in the mornings, I wasn't able to back test today because I had to buy my combine this morning and get everything ready and figure out how the fuck it works. Like that cheat sheet stuff y'all saw, um, like this shit. I literally made this and this morning. Like I literally had to fucking make all that. Well, I didn't have to make it, but I was in the midst of figuring out how to fucking calculate 1% risk with contracts because you can't set a stop limit and it doesn't tell you how much. There's no set amount for a contract, I guess. So it's just depending on your stop loss points and how much you want to risk. I want to risk 1%, so I gotta have this thing to tell me how many contracts I need depending on how much I want to risk. So yeah, I had to do that. And then I had to figure out how the fuck I'm even supposed to put a TP and a stop loss because I didn't know how to do that. Because there was you can't put a limit, you can't put an actual limit order. You can only put a market order and then you move the stop loss and TP where you want it to be, which is really weird. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out if there is anything like that. But yeah, I'm just gonna be waking up in the mornings. Gonna be back testing. I'm gonna be trying to get at least 10 hours. 10 hours of back testing this week, and I'm just gonna slowly increment it to at least. My goal is at least 12, at least 14. I want 2 hours, at least 2 hours every single day of the week, and then I'm gonna slowly increment it. And I want at least my big goal is a whole day per week, 24 hours per week. So that would be 7, 14, 21, around 3.5 hours, maybe 3 hours and 20 minutes. Um, yeah, yeah, I think around. Um, so I could just honestly, if I'm at 3 hours and 20, I can just go 3:30. and if I have time, just go 4 hours that day. But yeah, I want to be back testing more. I'm gonna get this book called Best Loser Wins. It's a trading psychology book. My buddy got it, and it seemed to have helped him. And once he read that book, he kind of like a flip like switched, and he just started winning like most of his trades, and he finally passed his funded. At that same time, he also went over to futures. So I bet both of those things simultaneously helped him. But I need to start looking at more psychology things and kind of just thinking about more things at once while I'm in a trade instead of just getting a trade. I need to be thinking about what other things I could be thinking about. Like just knowing that I don't need to get trade. I need to be patient. I need to understand that I need to be looking to see if price could maybe change bias. Just think, not, and that's not always going to happen, but just be mindful of the things that could happen in the market, not just the fact that I'm just trying to find a trade. Bullish bias, gotta find a bullish trade, gotta find longs. Oh shit, oh shit, gotta find fucking longs. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. I will be streaming tomorrow, like I said. So if you guys want to join me, make sure to check the link in the description or just look it up on Kick, Stetson HQ, same as the YouTube channel name. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today's video. I will see you guys in tomorrow's recap. Peace.